I've been building a roguelike game in Minecraft. Last time we worked on adding runes, which are essentially the upgrades you can select during your run. You get one after the first mini-boss and an additional one for every boss you beat. Here are little icons, even animated a little bit so they shimmer. But for this one, I think we're going to work on something else. Our main focus today is going to be adding an entire new zone, 2 mini-bosses and a boss, but we do have some other things to work on as well, some various quality of life things. Something that's bothered me is these paintings. They're okay, but this is a project I've been working on for a while now, and I don't think I'm happy with just okay for these anymore. Well then, personally, I think this looks a lot better. I made some of these on stream and some of them off of stream. You know, subscribe if you want to see what I'm streaming, because we work on some of this stuff on stream. Why don't we actually look at each one? We've got the charlatan with an emerald in his hand, a nice top hat, a nice little cane. We've got the artisan hard at work making various tools and implements. We've got the zealot, and we have the same thing with the heretic. The revenant, which is this specific solution was a suggestion from chat on stream, was to make the revenant made out of glass to get that transparent effect. And we've got a big ol' scythe. And this one's a little bit more of a difference. We actually had to recreate a crossbow. And we've got a nice little quiver full of arrows on the back. And lastly, we have our ascetic blind with this cool, like, classical halo design behind their head. So I think all of these are a lot better than what we had. This is a huge improvement in my eyes. And not only that, but you can now see easier which one you've selected. Say, for example, I want to select the Vanguard. You'll now see that it lights up, and we get this very cool little particle effect right around the feet. And of course, that particle effect matches up to the class, and it works for every single one with their unique color, because why not? It looks really cool. Now, as you change that, you may notice that there's a sign all the way down there at the other side of the room that changes. This is because you can now see what class you've selected right here as well. This start quest sign has been moved up, and we now have 3 little signs for readouts. This one tells us our class, so if I change to Zealot, you'll see it change as well. Game mode, campaign, that's all that exists right now. I do want to make custom a mode as well. And then we have difficulty, which is changed all the way over here like we implemented in a previous episode. If I change difficulty to medium, I can come back and it is on medium. So just a reminder of what difficulty you're on, so you don't have to run all the way over here every time to check. And for the eagle-eyed observers among you, you may have noticed this. This is a custom sign. Originally, I was going to try and make the sign invisible. It really didn't like me doing that. Like, it was really glitchy. So I have just retextured the acacia sign into a tough sign. So with all of that done, a lot of quality of life stuff just knocked out immediately in this one. I think it is time that we start looking at what we need to do for Coral Sanctum. Coral Sanctum is going to connect to the Infernal Workshop and the Forsaken Boneyard. Forsaken Boneyard is a future addition. Right now, we only have our Infernal Workshop connection, which is right here. This portal will turn on with a little like loading thing, just like the other portals we have. And of course, there's also the fake portal, where it is pretty much just a trick to make you think you're entering a different dimension when it is really just right through. But let's not look behind the curtain too much. Speaking of looking behind the curtain, this chest. I have tried to use vanilla blocks as much as I can for this zone, and there were limitations that I couldn't abide by. I needed water to not flow out of areas I needed to, because at the end of the day, this is an underwater and an ocean theme zone. I need to be able to work with water in a cool looking way. I needed some extra decoration blocks because there's not that many options underwater. And also, coral dies on land. So we have 30 custom blocks. This took a little bit of time. We have ripples 1 through 9, which I'll show off in a bit. We have various varieties of barnacles. Eternal coral. This is pretty much just recreations of coral, so I can use them on land without them dying. We have broken sea lanterns. We have slippery tile. It's like ice, but looks like the same tiles everywhere else. I won't go over this just yet, but those are statue pieces. That's for later. We've got maze guides. The way they position the inventory is a little bit weird, but if I place them down, you can see that they have mazes on them. And we'll show off the rooms those are used in very soon. And finally, the brine pool, which pretty much turns water into brine, which hurts. Now, with all of these blocks, you might think it's going to look very modded, and honestly, it looks quite vanilla. A lot of this is just like minor tweaks to various things, and from testing so far, most players haven't even noticed most of these blocks, except for like the ripples and the statue and the maze guide. Those are obvious. But a lot of the more subtle ones haven't been noticed immediately, which is exactly what we want. With all that being said, I think it's time we take a look at all of our rooms that we've made for the new zone. And there are some big ones. So I think this is a good time to say this zone took a while. So if you want to see more, please like and subscribe because it helps out a lot and a lot of effort goes into these videos. But this is all of the rooms for the new zone. And you may notice there are pillars next to them, aside from them just being color-coded like the other zones. There are these little diamond pillars and netherite pillars. And a lot of them are very similar, like these two rooms look very similar from the outside. Now the difference is, one of them, oh here's the ripple effect that we were looking at earlier in the chest, this is it fully assembled. This pretty much allows you to walk through and the water to not spill out, and it gives like a cool little transition effect so you kind of know where the water starts easier. This room is fully flooded and beautiful coral everywhere, while our netherite pillar marks the rooms that are dead and decaying and covered in slime and algae and barnacles and dead coral, broken lights. This is because there is a corruption spreading within this temple. Within this sanctum is something locked away deep beneath the sea. So the first 5 rooms of the zone will be lush, beautiful coral like this, with underwater rooms. The next 10, centering around the mini-boss, will be these dead rooms, and then ending with 5 more coral rooms before the boss. Now, I'm not going to go through every single room, but we will at least fly through a lot of them and look at some of the more interesting ones. We've got this one right here, which is quite fun. Pretty much what you do here is there's a big pit. You can parkour up the coral and jump down onto the slime, and if you are better than me at this, apparently, then you can bounce to the other side. This little coral garden, coral being grown in these pools by whoever attends these temples, while in some of the more dead areas, you can see the lights are out. The coral has clearly grown out but been bleached. There's brine, which gives you wither effect if you sit in it. And it lasts for a few seconds after you get out, so it can do some damage. And there will be slime spawning in this room. This one is one of my favorites. It is kind of complicated, but a good challenge for the later parkour rooms. I'm really off my game today with parkour. Usually I can do all of these pretty much flawlessly. But of course we have a evil variation. This is maybe the hardest parkour in the game so far, because you need to go on ice, get to here, and then bounce off that and grab the vines. A couple various little hallways, and a different little challenge. This one has some pufferfish in it. So you need to swim up through each of these holes in the wall while there are pufferfish to dodge, which is a little harder than it looks because they are pretty unpredictable. I see that pufferfish. What pufferfish? There's no pufferfish. Just swim in there. It's completely safe.
They're just they get bloated when they're nervous.
Why do you do that? Those
Oh
are
my God.
aggressive. That one went on the attack. Now, this is definitely the largest zone in room size. Oh, that reminds me of something. That is a glitch. That I think I might just leave because it's funny. Why is it glowing? I genuinely don't know why this has happened. This is the same block and it just doesn't glow most of the time. But right here it does. And I don't know why. And I think I'm going to leave it like that. I actually wasn't even going to comment on that room and I remembered that. We've got some fun little parkour rooms above brine. Some combat rooms. Here's another combat room. And plenty of just like hallways. This chain parkour has ended a lot of people's runs. Mainly because they hit their head on this shelf. It's always this one. I actually have gotten the Undead Nautilus riding drowned for this. They spawn in some of these rooms and are quite fun. But one thing I've been being asked for a while is to introduce puzzles, and that's where the mazes come in. And this is why there are 3 variations of the Sanctum Maze Guide, as I showed earlier, because there are 3 variations of this maze, 1, 2, 3. And this guide at the start shows you your path. So we start here. We need to exit out that side. So I want to follow the path all the way through here and out. Now the hard part is remembering that. Now it was this way, this way, this way, this way, right across here. And there is always a spot to get air along the way, just one, which is still pretty tricky if you get lost, and it leads you out the other side. Each of these rooms has a different color scheme, so you can't try and just remember the routes through each different one. This one is the blue and purple. We've got a nice little kelp and seagrass one over here. This one is the most monotonous looking. And over here we have the yellow and red and pink one. So kind of all the other coral colors I hadn't used yet. This one I think is the hardest. I mean, that map is a nightmare. A lot of deaths at that one over the course of mostly one of the testers' runs, named Laz. Does Laz know the way? Signs are pointing to no. Unfortunately.
I see the bubbles. Where
You know what's
am
funny?
I?
You go to the same room every time.
What?
Yeah, like, genuinely, the 3 times I've seen you die in this room, it's because you went to the same dead end. I should have put a skull there for you.
Where am I? I swear it's just supposed to go in a straight line. I swear you're just supposed to go in a straight line and then make it left. Oh.
And you know where you can find me and Laz and 3 other people? At Spellcheck D&D Podcast, link in the description. If you like nerdy things like going over Minecraft stuff or game design stuff, then who knows, maybe you're into D&D as well. That was a very impromptu ad read. But we have our healing rooms, of course. They're both pretty similar. I didn't really want to use the pink flowers I've used everywhere else, so we've used the pink coral to keep up that same appearance. We have our enchanting rooms. Instead of an anvil, we have the actual enchantment table. Now, I actually haven't shown a room with this yet, but these are the slippery tiles that were shown earlier. And since they act like ice, they can make some of these areas just a little tricky in case you accidentally slip off into the brine. We've got our wandering trader rooms, nothing too special in here, just some repurposed rooms. I've got our blood altar, our star altar. If we travel through the chest rooms and the reference to the ocean monument treasure room, of course, I'll give a peek in a few of these as we go by. There is this room. At the time I built it, the largest room we had added to the game. There is this one now, which is a little bigger. We'll look at that and whatever nonsense is going on the roof of that in a sec. This room will generate every time the player goes through this zone. It'll be after the mini-boss and the dead center of the corruption. I am not going to say what this room is, but I will give you a very good look at it. And look all around at these big stone clamps, the big slab and symbol in the floor, all of these crystals charged with some kind of magic, water flowing in, constantly recycling in this area. So, let me know in the comments, what do you think this room is? I'd love to see your theories, because this is a very lore relevant room. And I think that's all I'm going to tell you for now. So when we go look at our mini-boss chambers, first of which is this room. And you may immediately notice these armored statues made of prismarine on either side. And here's another thing to leave in the comments if you'd like. This is a reference to some Minecraft property. In fact, I have tried to replicate the design as close as I possibly can. So let me know. Where's it from? Have you seen or played whatever this is from? Then let me know. I'd love to see how many people recognize it. Alright, so as you walk into this room, of course, this like any other mini-boss room, we have our button to start the fight. And when you start it, you may notice some of these statues begin to come to life and will march at you. And they really don't like to take knockback. And there are 4 of them in this room that attack you. And they have a decent amount of health and really just don't stop. There we go. Now there's one left. I'm still struggling, apparently. But you can get some emeralds and move on. And right over here, we have our next mini-boss. Because why not another one? Now, only one of these will spawn per run, of course, but we're going to do this one right now as well. This one is a lot more aquatic, a lot more water area. It is the Coral Sanctum. Of course, we need to give the players some water fights. Wow, nothing immediately spawned, and that's because our enemies are actually underwater. We can blast you around, hopefully knocking you into the other crabs as they try and swarm you, since they do also have melee attacks. As the blast crabs are actually pretty dangerous if you kind of like let... I'm doing this extremely poorly right now. I don't know why I'm fighting them like this. I should be going to the ice leg guy over here to deal with them. Oh wow, that was quite the jump. But taking them on one by one is definitely the strategy, though I've wasted a lot of my health getting knocked around by them, and I don't think this is going to go well. But those are the blast crabs. They're kind of a sillier mini-boss, and I was going to make them more serious. But you know what? There's nothing wrong with some fun and whimsy. Behold, I've invented crabs that shoot you.
I'm sorry, what?
They're crabs that shoot you.
Man, I'd love if I could reach. I would love to be able to reach them.
You made crabs with guns? You made crabs with guns?
I'm gonna be honest, I have not tested that one at all, so that went surprisingly well for that. Later in the run, as we get closer to the boss, we encounter this room. This is our little prep room to get some arrows and a potion for free right before facing the actual boss. This one's fine, but there is a chance when you hit this of one of the 2 statues coming to life. And I actually got it. Awesome. That was first try. Thought I was gonna have to re-record this a couple times. But these guys come to life. Ooh, it looks like I might need to fix the thing that gets rid of the items on the ground. That's okay. Sometimes there's glitches. And you just gotta fix them as they pop up. But yeah, just like hopefully gonna catch some people off guard when one of these 2 comes to life. There's actually a chance that both of them do. And of course, after you beat the boss, there is the treasure room, where you can get a rare item, and the spot to get a rune, which I will play this again, because I really haven't played this animation many times yet. Ooh, that was a very good one. But the most important room is this one. which I'm going to explain all these command blocks in a bit, but I think it's better if I show what this fight really is first. And I don't know how well this is going to go, because this one has had the least testing. No one has fought this but me yet, and probably no one will have by the time this video comes out. Well, that first take went catastrophically bad. There was so much stuff that I need to fix. There were extra bosses I had spawned for something else that got teleported into the arena. There was missing command blocks. Should be fixed now, so I can actually show it off. So let's try this again. Hope it doesn't go catastrophically. Here is the Naga Huntress. This kind of spooky looking snake that teleports around the arena to attack the player, and has a pretty nasty poison arrow, and it is very hard to get to her in time. Ooh, I need to parkour better. Has a decent amount of health still, and disappears in these smoke puffs. Wow, I am really not doing good. So this boss is a anthropomorphic sea snake with these like cool little fins and a bow and arrow. The intended mechanic is you're supposed to be able to jump along these to avoid those arrow shots, if you're a little better at it than I was just now. While the game is running, she teleports around with this smoke puff, so she'll disappear in a puff of smoke like this, and appear somewhere else in the arena. But basically how this works is we have all of our normal command block stuff. You know, spawn the thing, detect if the thing's still alive, and then open the door when it's not. But we have this command block, which occasionally puts a redstone block right here, just like that. This teleports the Naga Huntress to one of these armor stands, which are spawned by starting the boss fight, and then the second one right after it teleports her down to the level of the water. And then all of these activate simultaneously to do the smoke puff sound effect and particles. Hopefully she'll give a nice new challenge to the players and a reason to like parkour around the arena. The next video I'm going to be working on is turning your ideas into Minecraft mods. So if you have any, leave them in the comments, and hopefully they can make it into the upcoming video or into a future one after that, because I do plan to make that a series.